Hi guys, I'm Silic IFBB Bikini Pro, and I thought it was time for another video blog because it's been about nearly a year, terrible, since I've done one. I do have my reasons though, but I think it's about time to do another one for you guys and keep doing some more, which is what I love doing. So the reason I'm doing this one is because I've had a lot of you asking me, when am I competing next? What have I been doing for the last, 6 to 12 months kind of thing. So yeah, I want to share with you my journey, since March last year, and give you some insight into what's been happening. So it's been a little bit of a bumpy ride, and my main reason for doing this video blog, it's taken me a little courage to build up to actually do it, is just to give you some insight into what's been happening, and in turn hopefully that will help some of you guys down the road too. So it all began in March last year, where I competed at FitX. And I won my IFBB Pro card, which was amazing. And for some of you might know that I was really struggling throughout that prep because my hip was just killing me, and it was actually really painful for about 2 years, and really coming up to that prep, the end of that prep, it was really painful. I could barely get out of the car, and I was really sore. And so basically I was seeing a physio the whole time and everything like that. It was helping me manage it. And yeah, after the show, he sat me down and said, right, you have to get this looked at properly. We need to do a scan, MRI, get that done, and we'll see what's actually going on. So I did that and actually found out I had tendonitis and bursitis in my right hip. Ouch, nasty. And which was fine, we can treat that. So he sent me to a really good specialist, and I ended up getting a series of PRP injections, which stands for, correct me if I'm wrong, platelet replacement plasma, where they withdraw blood, they spin it, and they inject the plasma platelets back into your problem areas, which for any of you who have had that done, kills, absolutely kills. I had 2 series of those 8 weeks apart. And throughout that time, I had to rehab the right side of my right leg because my glutes weren't activating, none of my muscles were activating properly on that side, where my hamstrings were dominating. So, in this sport, we want symmetry, but I still managed to build some glutes. Don't know how, but I did, so that was good. Anyway, so I was rehabbing that. So basically, I got told, as soon as I finished my show, I was getting checked out. It was basically gone from one high to wicked, you've won your pro card, to stop training. Stop training, which I actually did. I stopped training my lower body. I couldn't do any cardio or leg sessions throughout my treatment, just the rehab exercises that I was given to do, which lasted about 4 months. Now, then the important thing that happened through that time is a few months later, I really wasn't feeling myself. In terms of, I had no energy, I was really tired all the time, and this is really weird because obviously I wasn't really training much at all, just little bits of what I could do, and I was so tired. So I thought, look, I better go get checked out. I went saw a proper endocrinologist because I've been to GPs before, and not putting down GPs, they're amazing at what they do, but for someone who's an athlete, well, I like to think of myself as an athlete, I wanted someone more specialized, because I was told, yeah, you're fine, this and that, and I knew something was up. So I went and saw an endocrinologist, and after a series of blood tests and seeing him, he said, look, the conclusion came to the fact that I had adrenal fatigue, for one. Obviously, I was tired and all that kind of thing, so it came back in my blood tests as well. Well, you can't really test for adrenal fatigue, but the symptoms are there. And then I also had hypothyroidism. So for those of you who don't know, that's a really slow or underactive thyroid, which then means your metabolism is really slow, affects all the other hormones in your body. So yeah, so before the people out there that may say, oh, okay, now she's got adrenal fatigue and hypothyroidism because she competed too much, or she was doing this, she was doing that. This is why I wanted to do this video. I want to clear this up. Okay, yes, that may have been a factor, but it's important to know that, you know, lifestyle is a big factor too. So working so much, I'm such a go person anyway. I don't sit down and relax. I can't sit down and do nothing really. I'm always doing something or running around like crazy. And all that kind of stuff really comes into play. It's not just one thing. So it's stress, it's everything. And that's really important to remember. So it can happen to someone who's not an athlete or, you know, training so much. It can happen just from someone who's got an everyday really stressful lifestyle. You know, so, and also hypothyroidism actually runs in my family. So the chances of me getting it or having it come on quicker while I'm younger, still young kind of, you know, is higher. So that's something to remember as well. Mind you, took the steps to overcome that. I've still got, you know, a tiny bit of fatigue left. I still have to be careful so I can't train, you know, 6 days a week anymore and that kind of thing. But on top of that, getting enough sleep, all that kind of thing. Hypothyroidism, you know, it's a hormone related thing. You've got to fix that. But so, you know, came to terms with that. But there was a few things that still weren't really adding up from my blood test results. You know, and it wasn't really like, it's little things like, you know, after a show, or, you know, I'll eat a little bit more food than usual and I just put weight on like that, body fat weight like crazy. And I never binge. I'm not that type of person who ever binge after a show or after dieting for so long. I love my, you know, clean food, whatever you like to call it, more whole foods, I guess. I've always enjoyed that more, you know, as the major part of my diet. So, look, you know, my blood test was showing possibility of something going on in my ovaries, possibly. So I had some scans done, and it actually came back. And I actually only found this out maybe 3 weeks ago, so it's pretty fresh. And I'm getting nervous telling you guys, but I want to share. So, turns out after some ultrasounds and then in correlation with my blood tests, and also symptoms that I've been having over the years, I actually have PCOS. So that stands for polycystic ovarian syndrome. Now, that's not fun. Look, I'm still coming to terms with it, and there's so many women out there that are dealing with it and have been dealing with it for a long time. It's, again, you know, I don't want people to think, oh, she's been training so hard or this or that, or she's, you know, all the supplements or too much training, dieting, whatever has caused it. No. So from the research I have been doing, from my understanding, the PCOS is actually a hereditary disorder. There's no studies that indicate otherwise. Mind you, there's not enough research on it either from what I've seen. So it is hereditary. Not saying that it's, you know, other women in my family have it, but the gene is there, so it has come on. Now, since I found this out, it's actually been such a relief because everything makes sense. All the symptoms I've had, for example, my menstrual cycle was, sorry guys, sorry. My menstrual cycle was so irregular or non-existent from time to time, and you know, I just thought it was because I was training so much at some point, or, you know, there were points back to back through shows. I was getting very lean. But then you know, obviously I stopped training so much and everything like that with my injury, and nothing changed. So that was a huge indicator. But going back, you know, I actually realized I had all these symptoms before I even started competing in 2011, you know, so I had these symptoms. I just didn't know. I just thought it was normal, or, you know, just thought I had a WOG family or whatever. I'm not going to go into that, but what I'm trying to get across is, and what I really wanted to get across or achieve by doing this blog and sharing with you, is that I think it's about 15% of women, from my understanding, actually have this and don't know they have it, or, you know, women, whether you're competing or not, or fitness industry or not, you know, there are so many signs and symptoms that can occur, you know, irregular cycles, or you can't get out of bed in the morning, or that kind of thing on a continual basis. And even if someone tells you you're a GP, or don't get me wrong, GPs do their job really well. You know, your tests show that you're in a normal range in your blood test results and that kind of thing, but you could be at one end of the spectrum, and it's not optimal for your body. And this is something that you have to look into. So it can cause an effect for certain people. And I lost my train of thought. Yes, so you know, what's important is you need to listen to your body. No one knows your body better than you do. And there's certain signs sometimes that, you know, we just ignore. And I admit that because I'm so headstrong, yes, I ignored those too. And you don't think anything of it. But sometimes you really need to stop and think. And my advice to anybody who is thinking about competing or anything like that, firstly, get a good coach. You need a really good coach, and I'm so fortunate now to be working with Lane Norton, who is actually helping me heal my metabolism, obviously through PCOS and the hypothyroid. It's pretty non-existent. So increasing my metabolic capacity and that kind of thing through my diet, training so hard, lifting so heavy. But it's all working, and relative to what my goals and needs are at the moment. And two, get blood tests done before you compete. Make sure everything is in order. Make sure you're really top-notch healthy. It's something I personally never did. Not with a endocrinologist or someone who actually deals with athletes as such. So I also don't want people to think, you know, this fitness industry thing is an unhealthy lifestyle or an unhealthy thing. You know, if done properly, it is fine. It is not unhealthy whatsoever if you are in good hands and you really nourish your body and make sure you look after it and do it in the right way. And it's a learning curve, believe me. I believe now I found the right way already, like a year ago. But you know, my body was changing, and now it's, you know, and just because there's something that's come along now doesn't mean I'm still not going to fight to achieve my dream. So it just means I have to take a different approach. So if you guys have, you know, a hiccup in the road, doesn't mean you can't get there. Just you got to change your methods, and it's working for me, so it can work for you too. Now, okay, so the answer to most people's questions is, when am I competing again? Well, obviously I'm not competing at FitX, and this was killing me because so many people were asking me, hey, when are you going to FitX? Are you going, competing? And I'm like, I don't know. But no, I'm not competing because obviously I have a few issues I'm dealing with now, but I will be there. I'm very excited to be attending. I'll be there all weekend. And I do have a few shows in mind this year, actually later this year, if all goes well. I'm not going to say what they are. They are in America, which I'm very excited about, but not until the second half of this year. That's all I'm going to say, because I don't want to jinx myself, and I want things to go to plan, which I'm sure they will. They're going to plan now, which is good. But yeah, so that's me at the moment, and the last year, which is why I've been a bit quiet on social media and video blogging and that kind of thing, from talking about what's personally going on with me. I've done snippets, which some of you have seen, but I'm going to share a lot more now, and I'm going to keep video blogging for you all, because yeah, I hate writing things down. And hopefully share, and hopefully this helps some of you, because yeah, I don't really know anyone who's gone through this personally, so I'm going to research as much as I can and learn as much as I can and go through my own experience and hopefully help some of you guys out who are going through similar things. So any more questions for me, just hit me up on my Facebook page, and I shall get back to you as soon as I can, so be patient. Anyway, thank you for listening, and thank you for letting me share, and I shall see you guys soon. Thank you, bye.